Hey everyone, what is going on? MrWombat Live and welcome back to the channel. In today's Payday 2 video, we're breaking down everything new in update 232 for Payday 2, giving us a brand new DLC pack, Christmas cosmetics, and a brand new festive event to close out the year. And for the first time, this video is sponsored by Starbreeze. Now, before anyone panics and blows a gasket, I'm not being paid to give an opinion here. I've got evidence on screen from their community manager, Elizabeth, to prove that otherwise in case anyone tries to doubt it. They're just literally supporting me to do what I already do. So, of course, I was going to say yes, so thank you to Starbreeze for that. And of course, also, I was in an early access build. I normally say that by now and you should expect it, but I wanted to clarify that as well. But we are going to be diving in, looking at everything new in this update, and I'll also be giving my opinions, because I've actually had a huge amount of time to delve in, try the new perk deck out for one thing, and explore the Christmas event to give my full opinions on it. And I've got to say, overall, very, very solid update. Excited to dive into it with you. But as always, quick reminders that there will be a giveaway in the description you can go and enter to win the new Hostile Takeover bundle, including today's new DLC, the Mcshay Mod Pack, as well as the previous DLC from last month and 2 more yet to come. And also, if you want to watch me play this update live, I'll be live tonight at 7 PM UK time, that's GMT, over at twitch.tv/RedarcherLive, playing with viewers, giving away DLC codes too, because I finally got back into my old file after I moved PCs. On top of that, Overkill also have made a special schedule for when all the Overkill partners will be streaming on Twitch, and because of that, I feel like I'd throw an extra bonus stream in there, so I will also be live with Payday 2 on Saturday at 8 PM UK time, that's GMT, so if you want to check me out then, you can also do there as well. But enough gabbing from me, let's get right into the video and talk about update 232. Roll the intro. So there are 3 main things we need to focus on in today's video: the new DLC in the Mcshay Mod Pack, the new perk deck, the Copycat perk deck, and then finally, on top of that, we've got to talk about the Christmas event, as well as a new free gun that can be unlocked by playing the Christmas event. There's a lot to talk about. So let's talk first off about the new perk deck, because I feel that's what most people are going to be talking about after this comes out. The Copycat perk deck is free to all Payday 2 players, and you don't have to do anything to unlock it. Copycat is potentially one of the best perk decks they've ever added, because it actually gives players the choice of what they want the perk deck to do. As you no doubt know by now, perk decks have 9 cards, and cards 2, 4, 6, and 8 are the same across all the perk decks. Doesn't matter which one you pick, they give you the same boost, like an increase in XP, having the ability to use an armor bag, not that anyone ever does, but the idea is they all stay the same, and it's cards 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9 that give you different things. Well, cards 1 through to 7, the odd numbers for Copycat, let you choose what you get. You can get a health boost, an armor boost, a dodge boost, or a boost to your movement speed when crouching and carrying a bag. There are also other perks you can see on top of it, like for instance, the first card allows you to swap weapons 320% faster, and if you get 10 kills with one weapon, your other weapon will automatically reload if it hasn't already been reloaded. Very, very cool stuff. But the main focus is card 9 allows you to choose the main crux of the perk deck, and you can steal from any other perk deck in the game. If you want to have these bonuses and then bring the Kingpin Injector, you can choose the Kingpin option. If you want to have Grinder health boost like I do, you can pick the Grinder option. Any perk deck you like can basically be combined with a slightly weaker effect. Obviously, it's not quite as powerful as just the base perk deck on its own. You wouldn't expect it to be, but it then allows you to mix and merge. If you want to do Grinder with some dodge, you can do that now. If you want to do Grinder with some armor, you can do that now. I'm using Grinder as an example because I use Grinder all the time. It's pretty obvious at this point, but I do really like that perk deck. It's just one I use as a very casual player. But it's really good for customizability and just allowing you to play a bit differently. It is the most tailored perk deck I've seen in the game because it has that edge of flexibility. And in case anyone's wondering, if you equip the perk deck in other profiles, it will remember the cards you choose in each profile. So in one profile, you'll have Copycat maybe with the movement speed boosts, in another with the health boost, in another with a mix of them. It will remember that. You won't have to pick it every time you pick Copycat. It will save that, so don't worry about that either. I'm using Copycat in all the gameplay in this video, and I honestly just think it's fantastic. I genuinely really, really like it. It's a good addition, a good perk deck, and one I actually will try a bit in the future. And I should also mention at the same time that there has been a bit of an overhaul to the perk deck UI. You can now pick out perk decks based on armor boosts, health boosts, stealth boosts, that kind of thing. And you can also favorite perk decks. So if you have a set amount that you normally go for, you can go to a favorites tab and pick out one of your usuals. A little bit of an overhaul to the UI, fairly nice. But that's it for the perk decks. Now let's look at the Christmas event. So much like previous events in Payday 2, when one of these is happening, you go into the main menu and on CrimeNet there's a button that says play event. When you go in there, it will give you the option to play a series of heists that now have Christmas trees in the maps that you can interact with. These trees can only be interacted with during a loud playthrough. If you do it in stealth, the alarm will immediately go off because that's just the way this whole system works. But what happens is the tree will occasionally spew presents out towards you. There's a bit of time in between them, so you need to wait and keep an eye out for it. It's a little bit like cooking meth death in a way. But you grab the bag when it comes out, and then you can either destroy it and shred it in the shredder that's normally next to the Christmas tree, and it'll give your team a temporary boost, be it ammo recovery, health recovery, or even explosive shots temporarily. That one's pretty powerful, I do like that quite a lot. Or you could take it to the sleigh that Haradine is on, Vlad's brother, and he will secure it, and when you've secured all the bags that you want and you leave the heist, you will get a boost based on what you've put in there. The bags can contain money, XP, or continental coins, and it'll give you whatever you've won at the end of the heist when you escape. But the bags have to go in the sleigh, not the van. So I need to stress that there's nothing you need to do with the sleigh once you've secured the bags. You just leave the heist. There's no button you need to press, not like the piggy bank where you had to actually burst it. None of that's necessary. Secure as many bags as you want, and then just get out. Simple as. The more presents you secure as you play through, the harder the enemies will become to fight. It's kind of like Crime Spree, but in a single heist. So if you start on Overkill, you will find that after securing quite a few presents, it's going to get harder to survive. And I found that in my gameplay that I started dying a bit more towards the end because the enemies got tougher, they dealt more damage and took more hits. So just bear that in mind as you're playing through. And on top of that, you might find there's one bonus enemy that's been added to the game, a snowman bulldozer who has an ice flamethrower. He's got a snowman faceplate, he's covered in white, and he literally fires a flamethrower with white flames. Pretty much speaks for itself. The weak spot is in the back of the head, although I've tried to shoot him in that and I've not found that it's super effective. Maybe it's just a slight damage increase in the back of his head, I don't know. It could also be that when I fought him in my gameplay, I was pretty far into the heist, so he probably had a massive health boost. That probably didn't help either. But interesting twist to have a little special enemy just for this event. I kind of like that. I hope they do that again. It's a cool feature. And if you want a reason to play this event beyond just having a try, well, as always, there's community milestones. Now, I don't know the specific unlocks at each milestone, but I can tell you a little bit more about what they give you. Because there's going to be a new Christmas suit you can see on screen now alongside a Christmas hat. It's a Santa's elf outfit, each of which has 4 color variations for the outfit and the hat. There's a purple, green, red, and yellow variant. No gloves again, though, which is a real shame because it's just like the Street Smart Tailor Pack where they just seem to have been left out of the equation altogether. Does feel like a missed opportunity to not have some Santa-style gloves, but it is what it is, because yes, we do have the suit and the mask as event rewards, but on top of that, you can unlock a new secondary sniper for free called the Northstar, and on top of that, you can unlock some attachments for it as well. And in my early access build, I was able to just get access to the gun to have a go, try it, mod it, so you can see me doing that on screen now. The sniper's very, very good. It's the second secondary sniper that we've got, so again, it allows you a bit more flexibility, and it's free this time around. So unlike the previous one, we had to pay to get it, now there's a free secondary sniper, which I'm glad they've done. And from what I've used of it, I'm not the biggest sniper expert, but I do find it genuinely quite satisfying to use. 10-round magazine, you got suppressors, exclusive sets, things you can put on it that are unique to the gun, and I do think it works quite well. This is one of the things you can unlock from securing a lot of presents during the event. I will put the event marker on screen now so you can see the unlocks. I believe it goes from 0 up to 1 million presents secured, and as far as I know, it's only for the sleigh. I didn't get that specifically clarified, but I don't think shredding them counts towards it. I think it's just securing them. My only other criticism for the Christmas event is purely based around the character of Haradine and Almir Listo's performance as him. This is nothing against Almir, but I do feel like as time's passing, Haradine is just becoming Almir Listo rather than Vlad's brother.
You can knock the presents out of that tree. Don't know why they're not under the tree, but that's cops, man. They're all mixed up.
Almir doesn't feel like he's putting a voice on anymore because in the initial Haradine performances, it felt like he was putting on a bit of a character, whereas now it's just Almir talking into a mic and making Christmas jokes, which don't get me wrong is all fun and games. If you're a big fan of the Payday Twitter account, you'll love it, but I just feel like I would have liked him to keep character a little bit more. He slowly lost that, especially since Silk Road. And on top of that, the even weirder thing is, when they changed Haradine to look like Almir Listo in Breakfast in Tijuana, they refused to go back to Stealing Christmas and White Christmas and change Haradine's face model to Almir. They felt like it wasn't needed for whatever reason, maybe because it was a different character model. But in the event, we've got Haradine in his old outfit from the old model with Almir's face. So now we've got 3 different versions of Haradine, basically. 2 with Almir's face, and 1 with a different face. Honestly, Overkill, please, if you can, just go back to Stealing Christmas and White Christmas and change his face. Make it consistent, because it's so confusing. It's like having the new face for Locke in one heist and the old face for Locke in everything else. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. I really would like them to go fix that. Maybe it's a nitpick, but I'm just not the biggest fan of that personally. But now let's move on to the third and final part of the update, the Mcshay Mod Pack. This mod pack is basically a 2022 version of the Butcher's AK car mod pack to me, because it includes 5 attachments for AK family rifles and 5 attachments for AR-15/car family rifles. We'll go into the mods that this pack includes in a minute though, because there are 2 main additions that go before that, a new throwable and a new deployable. The new throwable is an Adhesive Grenade, which is basically a sticky bomb. You throw it, will attach to a wall or an enemy and blow up. Clues in the name. Very, very satisfying to use. I'm a big fan of semtex style grenades in like Call of Duty and things like that, so I like using these in Payday. It'll take a little while to get used to, I feel like, but it's an interesting new feature. I do really like it. I think it's a good addition in this DLC pack. But the deployable, I'm going to be honest with you, it's going to disappoint most people, because there was a bit of a discussion when this hostile takeover bundle first started last month about the new deployable that will come out in this pack, and people discussed the potential it could be. Could it be deployable cover? Could it be something that allows you to replenish your deployables, possibly, so you can have an extra doctor bag or an extra ammo bag? One thing I heard a lot of people saying they didn't want was a bag that would replenish your throwables. Unfortunately, though, that's what we got, because the Ordinance Bag gives you ammo for your throwables. All you do is interact with it, and it completely replenishes your throwables. It has 4 charges, so you can replenish your throwables up to 4 times, and then the bag disappears. So, one criticism I would make, and I hope Overkill changes this, the bag doesn't change size based on how many throwables are left. Like ammo bags and with doctor bags, it's nice to know, just visually, how much might be left, so you can kind of plan that out if you're going to use the Ordnance Bag. I'm not thinking people are going to use it nearly as much, but it would be a cool feature for the bag size to change, and I would like them to do models for the bag for certain amounts of deployables left. That could be a cool addition. But beyond that, I have to admit, I'm just not really that bothered by this. I was really hoping something a bit more game-changing. Deployable cover could have been pushing it a little bit, because obviously that changes the game meta a lot, and you've locked it behind DLC. Could be problematic, but you could introduce it in a way where it only gives you a little bit of health protection, then breaks. There's ways you could have made it work. Or again, like I said, something you could put down that gives you a 3rd doctor bag, a 3rd ammo bag, something like that. Again, could also be argued to possibly be pay to win. I just feel like there are better options, personally. I'm not a big fan of an Ordnance Bag. It feels a bit unnecessary, so for me, the sticky grenade's cool, the deployable, it feels like it was a bit of hype for a bit of a letdown, personally. But let's look at the mods now and talk about those in detail. So like I was saying, this feels a bit like a 2022 refresh of the Butcher's AK car mod pack, because it gives you a lot of attachments that are mainly focused on those guns. It gives you new options, new receivers, new grips, new magazines. There's one in particular with the car you'll see in my gameplay that's a see-through mag. Really, really like that. But it also includes a couple of other more unique attachments that I would rather focus on in the main crux of this section. One of them I'd like to focus on is a laser sight called the Stealth Laser Sight, one that reduces your stability but increases your accuracy, and it notes in the description that this is a laser sight that does not reduce your concealment. Now, that would be cool if we didn't already have one from the Gauge Mod Courier Pack, and interestingly enough, that one doesn't say what it says for this one for the Mcshay Mod Pack. So the Gauge Mod Courier Pack has a laser that won't reduce your concealment that's the exact same as this one in the Mcshay Mod Pack, except they're wording it in the mod pack like it's a cool new feature. So I think I would add that wording to the compact laser module, or just remove it from the Mcshay one, because there seems to be a little bit of confusion, like it's the only DLC you can get that, and that's not the case, so just worth bearing in mind. But there are several new sights named the Cassian sights, one that zooms in 3.25 times, one that zooms in 4 times. I use the 3.25 on my AK in some of the gameplay, and it actually has a toggle sight on the top of it, so you can have a zoomed in sight or a zoomed out sight, and you can also combine that with a secondary one on the side of the rail. So in my AK, I've got 3 different red dots I can bounce between. It's very strange. It almost feels like Rainbow Six Siege just turned up to 15. But the main one I want to pull out from this DLC that I find the most interesting and potentially the most controversial is the Biometric Analyzer. This sight shows you enemy health when you aim down sight and aim at an enemy, a little bit like a custom HUD. So sometimes with the custom heads-up display, you will see an enemy health bar at the top of the screen. Well, it's kind of like when you look down a sniper and it's got a distance meter sometimes at the bottom. It's that, but a health bar. So when you aim to the enemy, it will tell you the health. Now, there are arguments to be made here that I'm not sure this is the best thing, purely because it doesn't feel super realistic. I know Payday 2 is not the most grounded game anymore. It's been a point of criticism for some people as time's gone by, but this feels like possibly it could be a step too far. I don't know whether it was necessarily needed. If you wanted that, you could just get mods realistically. It doesn't seem that interesting to me, and I'm honestly too busy killing people really to pay attention to their health that much. I only really noticed it when I was killing bulldozers, so it didn't bother me. But again, it's one of those things you can just take or leave. If you're not bothered by it, just don't use it. You know what I mean? There'll be some people who will definitely like this, and that's who that's there for. But those are the most interesting parts of the mod pack. To me, mod packs are not really the things that stand out in DLC campaigns, because they are, well, just weapon mods. It's not new guns, it's not a new heist, and more of an add-on. And out of a tech seat campaign, this chapter for Hostile Takeover, this seems like the Tijuana music pack of the bundle. It's something that adds something cool, but not everyone's going to be super excited about it. They're going to be more focused on the actual main core gameplay content, like heists and new guns, and that's fair. So overall, the mod pack, I think, has good points to it. There's some unique attachments that I quite like, and also I'm a big fan of the sticky grenade, but then you've got other attachments that you could take or leave, and also the Ordnance Bag just feels like a drop ball. It doesn't feel like the perfect addition to the game. So overall, again, it kind of feels like that DLC in the bundle that is the least important one, personally. So if you aren't a big fan of it, you can just leave it. If you like it, though, you can pick it up. You know how it works by now. The Hostile Takeover bundle gives you a big discount by giving you all 4 DLCs for a cheaper price. So if you get the bundle, you're technically getting a DLC free, pretty much. So you could always just say, I'm getting the mod pack for free and then paying for the rest. Or, of course, you can enter my giveaway to win it for free anyway. Don't forget you can do that. But, ladies and gentlemen, that is everything in update 232. The Mcshay Mod Pack, the Christmas event, the new free weapon, and on top of that, the new perk deck. A big update, a lot to talk about, and most of it's fairly strong. Like I said, there are a few parts I'm not as big of a fan of, a few criticisms I have, but overall, I think it's a fairly solid update and a good way to close out 2022, which means could be the last Christmas update we have for Payday 2 before Payday 3 comes out. I mean, Payday 3 should release next year. I've talked about it recently on the channel. Feel free to check out my video where I discuss it in more detail if you haven't already. But I just think that as Christmas updates go, it's not a bad closer. It's not a bad closer at all. So thank you all very much for watching, as always, and thank you to Starbreeze for sponsoring this video. I will see you all tonight at 7 PM UK time for a Payday 2 live stream, and also my stream on Saturday. But until then, thank you all very much for watching. I will see you all next time with a brand new video. Until then, look after yourselves, stay safe, and I will see you all soon. Thanks for watching.